Hey, this is a talk about FC. Like, he's able to be emotionally vulnerable and he's a cool person. And he very much likes Charlotte. Not to always talk about Charlotte, but Charlotte does not know what it means to upsize the stage to friendship, from friendship to actual relationship. She knows that it's basically the same thing, so why put an extra label that's encouraging responsibility on both of your part, which is just another way to not take any responsibility. But anyway, this is about FC. FC, very much like everything that Charlotte does. Charlotte's home planet is very close to Earth, not distance-wise, but similarities. FC does like to dabble in the pop culture things that happens in Charlotte. His planet is a gas giant, kind of like Jupiter. The actual planet itself is a little bit smaller than our Earth moon. Most of the planet is encasing it in some sort of like light thickness, you know? That's so the gas doesn't escape. His species contains a bunch of little small particles that come together to make a brain. Those particles start at the very top as life forms get more and more intelligent. They get denser and denser. Usually that takes, a life cycle of 80 years. And then after 80 years, they become an adult. 80 more years, they become, old enough. And then once their intelligence sinks to a bottom, where all the elderly are, and then they poof, and they go right back up, and the whole cycle starts again. They have several different floating islands, I want to say, where different intelligences work and do everything. It's more centered around intelligence. FC was a kind of a prodigy because it didn't take him the whole 80 years. It took him 2 years to sink to a place that would take most people 25 years. And then he spent time there purposely not learning anything, basically not having a job, couch surfing, until he got to that 25-year time line, and he stayed there to hang out with his friends that he made. And there was a disease. It's basically H2O, which affected their chemical processes, but everybody got vaccinated, so everybody can take in H2O. So that means planetary visits. FC consists of a bunch of small particles that can shape and morph into anything they want. They can shape into any shape or form, take the form of certain DNAs or particles. Of course, the size of the particle is going to be significantly bigger because they can't actually change their physical atoms, but they can change the arrangements of, the cellular level. I don't know. It shouldn't be smaller than an atom. It should be a little bit like a cell, but still that should make a difference, kind of. Like if you saw a giant, like in our Earth is a one-cell organism that just floats on the bottom of the water, and it looks like one cell, and when you open it up, it has a nucleus and it has DNA. It's just, I forgot what the thing is called, or put a picture up on screen. So to go to other planets and keep their stable, so they don't turn into a puff like they are in their planet, they have this little device to help them out. Now, without the device, they can stay non-puffy for at least 2 years. But once that 2 years is up, they start defusing and losing their form. FC personally likes the look of antlers, personally likes the look of the ears that are common occurrences in foxes or cats, and also enjoys wings because why not? Because he can take any form. And the human base design is just what he likes. He likes himself in a completely healthy and kind of narcissistic way. but like in a healthy narcissism, like realistic to what he thinks is human. So a faults and all that, like not unrealistic love for himself. Now, Human FC. Human FC, his powers develop, he starts growing antlers. And in this depiction, it looks like he has 4 antlers. I'm not sure if I'll keep that in the design, if I ever design it out of this picture. It does look cool though, now that I think about it. 4 antlers and 2 wings. Now, he can't help that he grows antlers, but he can definitely shave them. Like, it won't be attached to nerve endings or anything. He just breaks them off every time antlers grow. And the wings are a little different. He's got nerve endings in those wings. He can actually fly with those wings, but he chooses not to because he doesn't want the government on him or anything. He is basically the same as the alien version, except he doesn't like change. He's really cool. A semi-prodigy. He discovered what that's like to be a prodigy at something. From his older siblings becoming prodigies, he decided, well, I'm just gonna act dumb so I could stay in the same grade with my friends. And he continued acting dumb so he can have a normal-ish life. A lot of character development happens to FC that doesn't happen to Alien FC, which Alien FC desperately needs. So it would be kind of a good idea if, like, I don't know, like somebody who wrote the story just had like a robot on the side that had both of their consciousness mixed together. We'll say reach their peak character development moment, and Alien reaches his peak like villain arc moment, which I'm not saying he might go through a villain arc. I'm just saying that it might happen because anything can happen in the story, but like that would be cool because it would be the best version of himself, and it would be completely, you know, okay with concepts and things. Anyway, I might make it, I might not. I mean, like, why would you want a backup plan? You do the development, you do the thing, you pull the trigger, and that's okay. FC lives in a 2-parent household. Very basics. Oh, the 2 parents are like free thinkers, parent on like a different level. They're co-parenting with some books and reading material and letting their kids have a whole bunch of freedom, which has led to the first one being an overachiever, completely dropping the whole like, I'm gonna achieve at the most and do the most and then bring this back. Hopefully their expectations will be granted and they'll get like praise, but really he's been praised all his life, so any other praise is just gonna feel the same. So he's just searching for this eternal glow of praise that he won't really get because he's never been praised in a way that he can understand. That's the oldest brother. The sister, also super genius, but super rebellious. In as much as a rebellion as your parents going to a rock concert with you, spray painting, and then actually buying a wall for you to spray paint on. So rebellious, but little sheltered, but rebellious still. And FC is the youngest. He is the youngest out of 3 siblings. The father had a very dark past. You don't choose who raises you. So he was raised with people that weren't exactly the most loving. And, you know, that just makes him want to be the most loving to his kids because he didn't have that. He really wanted that. So he was trying to fight the pattern and just go on and be the most loving and try to be the most understanding. That doesn't happen often. And it's hard because you're raised a certain way, but you know, hard work is worth it. He also kind of picks up on this history, though he knows nothing about. Little things he does that he backtracks on, he just picks up on that. He doesn't poke a sleeping bear. I don't think that's FC's personality to dive into other people's traumas or anything, but he does acknowledge it in a way, being comfortable in the space with the person that raised you. And so how FC sees Charlotte. FC likes Charlotte because she's like so brazen and so abrasive that it's just like a refreshing drink of water compared to how his family is and how everything in his life is. And he just really likes her because of that. I don't know what the character is gonna do, like once Charlotte actually likes him back, if that would even work out, or if she would just be like, look, I know you like me, but it's not gonna work out, so you either stop your feelings for me. I don't know how that would work, or what would happen there. FC sees Edward as a cool guy, but a little out of touch and a little awkward most of the time. He seems to have genuine feelings for Sasha, so, you know, he thinks that them being a couple is really great and is kind of sickening because he's completely jealous of that. He views Sasha completely hilarious girl that's angry for a bit. Sometimes he doesn't realize that it's kind of not a bit. He gets a little too jokey at some points, or get a little too serious and try to be a mediator between Charlotte and Sasha's fights. He sees himself as a cool guy, and by all accounts, the facts have led to him making the right assumption, but he does know that he can make mistakes, so he's not saying that he's perfect. He just thinks, as humans go, pretty good, like a B tier, really. I mean, a C tier at most, C tier. FC sees him as a pretty cool guy, very, very funny, like a person trying to act cool, but if you test it anyway, it melts. At least that's what Charlotte likes to test people, so she would test it and see it's just melt. Sasha sees him as just one of the dudes, one of the guys, one of the bros. They've been friends for such a long time. He's practically family to her. Edward, he sees actually like what's underneath the cool guy, which is not a cool guy persona, but like he sees underneath the cool guy persona, which is another cool guy being a cool guy, but with like a small layer of anxiety and a small layer of cringy, clumsy anime girl potential. I mean, he's got the potential to be the best. He just has the potential to be that, and it's not, you know, Edward's fault that he sees that in him, because it is. It really is not his assumption. His powers as an Earthling, once he gets powers, is to shapeshift. He permanently has those antlers and those wings. He could rip off the wings, they'll grow right back, but they'll grow right back in a long time, like 4 months. He can shapeshift into any animal, or he can shapeshift one of his body parts to any object. So he still needs a brain to think about what the object looks like, and it's, you know, in turtles to shapeshift. So if he ever tries to shapeshift his whole body into a rock, for instance, he'll just be a rock with a head on it. And then his body will immediately panic and shapeshift him into, like, you know, fear-based animal. Because he can, if he gets too afraid, he'll shapeshift automatically. Usually into either deer, because that is his fear-based animal if he's running away, or a vulture, which is his fear-based animal, also running away, but like also kind of attack. He hasn't shapeshifted into a wolf yet because he can't quite wrap his head around the wolf shape, the wolf attitude, what a wolf is, that his alien version can wrap his head around, but due to his powers being not borrowed, but like due to his powers being based off of this alien version, there's just certain blockages when it comes to him, particularly because he is kind of just like the alien version, holding himself back from reaching his full potential because he is, like a lot of people, afraid of change. The youngest out of the whole group. I'm not sure what age he should be, but if he was ever in a rock, paper, scissors match, he would pick rock first every time, no matter what the odds look like. FC's real name is Fist. That's his government name. That's also his alien name. He came up with FC because his alien contacted his real self and suggested that he goes by that. And it kind of stuck with him because he was talking to himself. That's pretty much it.
Thanks for watching. I hope to see you again. Please like, comment, subscribe, especially comment. I'm kind of new at this, so tell me what you would like to see next. Or any improvements I could make on my editing. Stay fresh and stay staying.